Angela Pham.
Hello, I'm Angela Pham. I'm a housing hotline and housing clinic volunteer with the Metropolitan Council on Housing. I'm also a rent-stabilized tenant in Chinatown, and I've lived there for about 3 years. I'm not here to tell my own story, however, but to tell those of others. For example, my neighbor is rent-stabilized and living here on a work visa from India. Our landlord sent him a lease renewal form a few months ago that asked for $100 extra per month. The papers looked official, so he didn't question it, even though he should have been offered a rent freeze. My other rent-stabilized neighbor received an eviction threat from our landlord's lawyer when she was just a week late in a single rent payment. And our landlord has already raised the rent through an MCI for a new boiler, which fails to heat our apartments overnight, even when the wind chill is below 0. You see, the city can tell us there's a rent freeze. The city can tell us that we have rights. But in a world where actions speak louder than words, there are too many words on paper and too little action. I have watched my elderly Chinese neighbors slowly be replaced with younger, wealthier tenants. I took a call on the housing hotline in which a tenant was told she would be evicted because she was bringing her bicycle indoors. I knew of another tenant who was told she would be evicted if she didn't show up at housing court on a Saturday morning at 10 a.m. You can imagine the panic she was in when she called me in tears from outside the locked doors of 111 Center Street, convinced she was now homeless. If you think asking for a rent rollback is irrational, it's asking for too much, or if it's too aggressive against landlords, then you have not heard a sample of the stories that I have heard. Sometimes I look at the online comments of real estate articles in the media where debates about rent stabilization rage on. The funny thing is that while I see occasional comments online and testimonials from landlords complaining that they can't afford property taxes, I do not hear stories of desperation. I do not hear stories of them saying they're afraid they'll lose their homes because of a lack of profit. I do not hear pleas for help, for knowledge, for someone who speaks English to help them understand. I see their anger, but I do not see their pleas. What I do see and hear are pages and pages and minutes of cries for help from tenants who have no idea what their rights are, who are about to lose their homes, who are desperate for more information, who just want to keep paying a rent they can't afford, even when they're already rent burdened. Why am I asking for a rent rollback? Because this is a cry for help on behalf of tenants who have been screwed over for years and didn't even know it. This is a crisis, and the only reaction to that is real action. Thank you.
Thank you.